everyone. My name is Sachi Ingre.
And my name is Arav Agrawal. We are from CBSE 9 and IGCSE 10 and are delighted to be your hosts for this episode of Smart 360, More Than Just News.
This season promises to bring you exciting news updates on inspiring initiatives and meaningful conversations happening at GIIS campuses and beyond.
We aim to not only share information but also to spark your curiosity and foster a love for learning. Plus, we promise to make it fun along the way.
So without further ado, let's dive into today's episode.
Today, we bring you highlights from a truly inspiring event that took place on May 5th, the Prefect Badging Ceremony, held right here at GIIS SMART Campus.
That's right, Arav. This ceremony marked an important moment for our student community. It wasn't just about the presentation of badges. It was about honoring leadership, responsibility, and the confidence we place in our young student leaders.
The event began with the formal badging of the CBSE Grade 6 prefects, a gesture that symbolized the beginning of their leadership journey.
One of the most powerful moments of the ceremony was the oath taking, as the newly appointed prefects pledged to uphold the values of integrity, faith, and accountability. There was a genuine sense of commitment in the air, one that marked the transition from students to student leaders.
We also heard from two of our new student leaders, Charvik Reddy Pulluru from CBSE Grade 8 and Naisha Chaudhary from CLSP Grade 8, who took to the stage to share reflections on what leadership means to them. Their words, filled with sincerity and purpose, left a lasting impression.
To round off the ceremony, Senior Principal Ms. Melissa Maria engaged the prefects in an interactive session.
It was a fitting conclusion to a ceremony that not only celebrated leadership but also laid the foundation for a future guided by service, humility, and collaboration.
Congratulations to all the newly appointed prefects. From student leadership to sporting achievements, there is no slowing down the energy at Smart Campus.
That's right. On 3rd May, our GIIS Smart Campus cricketers from both primary and secondary made a strong mark at the AIS Shark Sixes Under-11 tournament, held at the Australian International School grounds.
It was a highly competitive one-day event with 20 teams from schools, clubs, and academies participating. GIIS fielded two teams, GIIS Kings and GIIS Warriors, and both showed great skill and team spirit.
GIIS Kings secured 3 wins out of 4 matches, while GIIS Warriors won 4 out of the 6 matches and reached the semi-finals, bringing home trophies and plenty of praise.
Several players were also recognized individually for their outstanding performances. Player of the Match medals were awarded to Sai Kumar, Ojas Kartikar, Sudhir and Dhruv Huda from GIIS Warriors, Ritul Karti, Shivansh Kumar and Dheera Kumar from GIIS Kings.
Congratulations to all our players for their dedication and sportsmanship. You've made Smart Campus proud.
In this edition of Limelight, we spotlight a distinguished visit that made a meaningful impact on our campus.
We had the honor of welcoming Dr. Ben Schmidt, Global Director for Cambridge International Education, to the GIIS Smart Campus. His visit included a thought-provoking session with our secondary teachers and a guided tour of our learning spaces.
A key highlight was a one-on-one conversation with our Smart 360 host, Niyanta Chauhan from IGCSE Grade 10.
In this insightful exchange, Dr. Schmidt spoke about his journey in education, the changing role of students, and how Cambridge is harnessing innovation while keeping values, well-being, and purpose at the core of learning.
Let's take a look at their conversation.
In GIS, we are encouraged to be self-directed learners. So how is Cambridge redefining the student's role, not just as recipients of knowledge, but as active participants in shaping their own learning journeys?
We call it active learning. Working with thousands of schools around the world, we're not narrow in our view of what good teaching and learning is, what kind of pedagogical style you need to use, but whatever it is we're saying needs to be active learning. And active learning, we don't mean people kind of jumping up and down in the classroom and moving around, but active in the mind. And that is different because if you are a passive recipient of knowledge, as you say, it basically means that you are trained to just repeat information or words that someone told you. And that means you basically become a parrot who can repeat stuff but doesn't know what they're saying. So in order to really acquire knowledge, gain skills, and so on, one needs to be very active in doing it. And so one of the things is that the Cambridge curriculum is challenging. It means you have to often think hard. We use problems that are not trivial in the sense that it's a problem and then you have a formula and then you go, okay, that's the answer. But often we include what are called wicked problems. In other words, problems that do not have an obvious solution. Where sometimes you go, you can't solve that, but you still have to try, right? And that is when you think hard, and that is where you need to think for yourself. It also means that we have to go into depth. It means we need to understand not just on the surface level, what are the facts, what are the answers. Mind you, facts are important, right? We need that. But we need to understand beneath the surface, what are the causes? What are the conditions that come together to make something happen? What is this really about?
Yeah.
In economics, for example, what is the interplay between available resources and scarcity? And how does that, that is such a core question. Or in biology, which you study, the role of DNA and heredity, right?
Yeah.
That is what it comes back to. Because that is what enables you to not only answer things that are already in the textbook or in the curriculum, but rather in the future, of course, you will come across things that are not in the textbook, right? Of course you will. But what is it that will help you solve the things, the problems that are outside the textbook or come up with innovation? It is that you understand in depth, because then you say, okay, I've never come across this particular thing. I don't know the answer, but I know how to figure it out. Let me try.
It's really empowering to hear how students are being encouraged to take responsibility of their own education.
That was truly inspiring and sure to resonate with educators, students, and anyone passionate about the future of learning. Did you know that we might be one step closer to finding life beyond Earth?
It's true. On April 17th, a research team from Cambridge University shared what could be the strongest evidence yet of extraterrestrial life, this time on a planet called K2-18b, about 124 light years away from us.
The way they discovered it is just fascinating. Roughly 124 years ago, K2-18b passed in front of its red dwarf star. As it did, its atmosphere filtered the star's light, offering scientists a rare glimpse into its chemical makeup.
Using the James Webb Space Telescope, the team led by Dr. Madhusudan captured that filtered light and analyzed it. Each molecule in the atmosphere absorbs light in a unique way, creating a kind of chemical fingerprint.
And that fingerprint revealed some exciting results. Compounds like carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor. But even more intriguing were faint traces of dimethyl sulfide and dimethyl disulfide.
On Earth, those chemicals mostly come from tiny marine organisms like phytoplankton and algae. So their presence on K2-18b hints at the possibility of an ocean-like environment and maybe even microbial life.
While it's still early days, this discovery has sparked a wave of excitement in the scientific community, and K2-18b, it's officially under the spotlight.
Arav, did you hear about the Global Citizen Now Summit which took place last week?
Yes, I did. The summit was held on April 30th, 2025 at Spring Studios in New York City. It's a significant annual gathering that brings together world leaders, activists, artists, and innovators to address global challenges, particularly poverty and sustainability.
This year's event featured an impressive range of voices, including Pedro Sanchez, the president of the government of Spain, and renowned science educator Bill Nye, among many others who are shaping important conversations around global progress.
A major focus of the summit was on creating meaningful and lasting change for the next generation, especially through education and sustainable development. The discussions highlighted actionable solutions for building a more equitable and resilient future.
One of the key highlights was the presentation of the Global Citizen Prize and the Cisco Youth Leadership Award. These honors were awarded to 5 remarkable young individuals making a real difference in their communities, whether through climate advocacy, promoting girls' rights, or improving access to education.
The summit served as a powerful reminder that leadership and change are not defined by age. Anyone, regardless of age, can contribute to creating a better world, and that's a message we all can take to heart.
Hello everyone, my name is Advait Bharadwaj from IGCSE 9D. I would like to recommend the book Under the Dome by Stephen King. Under the Dome unfolds in the quaint town of Chester Mill, Maine. One day, suddenly, an invisible, impenetrable dome descends upon the town, sealing off every road, every line of communication, and every hope of outside rescue. The residents find themselves thrust into an unprecedented crisis with the sudden isolation. Daily routines fall apart as essential services crumble, resources deplete, and fear mounts. Long-standing tensions and hidden agendas surface as the dome's mysterious presence degrades the community. Survival becomes more than a physical challenge. It is a battle for moral clarity, leadership, and identity, exposing how quickly democracy devolves into a dictatorship when confronted by the unknown. In this book, King elegantly explores the themes of the fragility of civilization, the abuse of power and corruption, and human nature in the most extreme circumstances. All in all, Under the Dome is a deep exploration of the power dynamics, the erosion of social order, and the resistance of the human spirit when pushed to its limits.
So viewers, with this, we have come to end of this episode.
Stay tuned for our next episode, where we will be delving into fascinating updates from our campuses and delivering the freshest news from across the globe.
Until next time, this is Arav.
And this is Sachi
Signing off.